Many homes are in need of repair, but as we all know, renos and maintenance can be quite expensive. EAMONN GLAVEY of the Canadian Home Improvement Credit Corporation works to turn huge expenses into manageable monthly installments. And they do it by working through contractors. It's a fascinating business, EAMONN. Welcome to Biz 101.
Thanks, Ryan.
And tell me about this concept.
So there was a real need in the marketplace. Probably the best way to describe it is to take you through an example of what we do, and then you'll see how and where we fit into the marketplace. So you have a house. Okay. Your roof starts leaking.
Yep.
You call up the local contractor. We'll call him Joe. Joe comes over and he says, Randy, your roof is done. It's a $20,000 replacement.
That awful news.
Unfortunately, these things happen. Houses, they run down, right?
Yeah.
So you may not have the $20,000 cash in the bank, or you may not have it on your credit card either.
Right, plus you put it on your credit card and that's pretty expensive financing.
That can be costly. You're looking at 29.95 plus. The best option always is to go to the bank, right, get a line of credit. But if you get approved, then it's going to take a week to a week and a half, and you may not get approved. Meanwhile, your roof is still leaking.
And you know, as you're walking through the story, it's amazing how many people in North America are kind of living paycheck to paycheck. Even, you know, homeowners and the middle class, the outwardly successful people, a $20,000 hit like that can be devastating.
Well, yeah, it's a real thing. I mean, the subprime market now in this country, well, North America wide, is 33%. It's almost 1/3 of the population that are subprime. And then you
subprime
have
meaning, just to explain
below prime
credit. Not a perfect credit.
Right. So if you go to a bank, they would characterize you as subprime or non-prime. So yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real problem.
And generally speaking, banks don't really want to lend you money if you don't have perfect credit.
That's what the banks do. If you have lots of equity, they can pull it out of somewhere, they'll give it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, for that large demographic that are paycheck to paycheck, they may not have the extra, you know, $100,000 or $200,000 in equity in the property, or a line of credit available, or whatever the case may be. They may not just have it. So if you don't want to go to the credit card and pay 30%, and you don't want to go to the bank because they may not approve you, then
or it takes time or whatever.
That's where we fall in. So Joe would say, Randy, don't worry, you don't have to go through either of those options. You can go to Chic, and we'll find out right now if we can get you approved for this.
The contractor, you have the arrangement
exactly.
with the contractor.
So the contractor on the spot would fill out an application, send it to us, we would adjudicate it on the spot.
And I notice you're using your thumb, so it's right on his phone?
Everything's in the cloud, everything's instant, So it takes us about 2.5 minutes to adjudicate an application. We send that notification back to the contractor, and he'll notify you right on the spot. I'll say, Randy, great, you've been approved, and you can commence work whenever you want. We pay once the job's complete and you know, you're satisfied and all the paperwork's in order, everything's really good, we're satisfied to book the deal. We'll then pay Joe's invoice of $20,000 and finance it to you directly after. So you have your repair, you're okay, and it's a manageable monthly payment instead of eating $20,000 at once.
So that's you know, you're basically, it's a banking type function. Do you have a banking background? Do you have a finance background?
Yeah, so I was schooled in capital markets, and I was actually going to go on Bay Street and trade.
Bay Street being the Wall Street of Canada.
Of Canada, exactly, yeah. So, but I ended up to go to into this instead.
And so you started the company yourself?
Yeah.
And that's always fascinating to me. So were you a guy that needed his roof fixed, or like how did, how did that come about?
There's more to the story. I've been in business before. I actually started a water heater rental portfolio in 2009.
A water heater rental portfolio.
So it's specific to the Ontario market.
Okay.
And what it is, you rent your water heaters in Ontario. It's just the way it is. So
What do you mean you rent your water heaters?
I mean exactly that.
So no one owns a water heater in their house?
I think about 4% of the population in Ontario owns their water heater.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
So when you purchase a house in Ontario, 99%.
It's got a rented water heater. Why would that be?
That's just the way it's been for the last 40 years. The utilities kind of started this and made it standard. And then obviously Competition Bureau got involved. There's got to be more players, and then more players came in. And then, so we started that in 2008. There was two dominant players, much like the, Rogers Bell kind of thing.
Right.
And there's three of us that shot up and kind of competed with them for a little while.
Cool.
And so we built that up for 3-4 years, and it was going really well. And then I took some time off and focused on my health and did some Ironmans and traveled a bit and had some fun. And then, I met a really great girl and decided, I better go back to work.
Time to get back to being a responsible citizen.
Let's build, things cost money. So I went back to work. And at the time when I built the first company, I raised a bit of money internally. And then I was going through different sources to raise, leveraging against bonds, so on and so forth, to raise capital to build the water heater rental portfolio.
Okay.
Because if you play that scenario, right, we would put in a water heater today.
Yeah.
The water heater costs $1,000. You got to pay the contractor, you got to pay the sales guy, you pay admin, all this stuff. We're collecting $25 a month.
So it's a capital-intensive business.
Exactly. So I needed capital to grow the company, much like any business. This one's a bit different. It's more of an annuity. So I raised the capital, and one of the particular people I raised the capital from kind of sparked my interest into this vertical. And I always decided, I always knew that if I get back into business, I was going to do this company. We have a really, what really separates us, there's three of us that do that in the country, but what really separates us is myself and my management team we have a lot of industry knowledge. So we came from the contractor side of things.
Right. So your own customer is really the contractor, not the homeowner.
Correct. And we have a deep, profound understanding of our contractors.
So how did you? It's always interesting to me how you get started. So did you? So you had this idea. We want to provide financing for homeowners that are facing the high interest rates because they're subprime. Yeah. For any, so is it for any?
It's not even just subprime. It's anybody and everybody. Majority of our book is prime. We don't actually play in the subprime market. We're not a subprime company.
Really?
We're a prime portfolio. Yeah. So much like the banks.
So, but
if you're not creditworthy.
But is this unsecured? Like, in other words,
So we'll adjudicate based on credit originally. Okay. And then based on the value of the ticket. And if we do need to take security, we will.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you make a deal with the contractors. You sign them up and say, "Here, we're going to offer."
Yeah, they apply. They have to go. They have to get vetted, interviewed, background checks, the whole bit. Right.
Okay.
We're not just handing this program out to anybody, right?
Okay. So in your business right now, you have contractors then across the country,
correct. Yep.
And so those contractors are out there, and they're doing any type of home repair, maintenance, whatever.
Almost any.
Almost anything.
If it's something that's going to be affixed to the property, we'll finance it.
So getting back to Joe again,
yes.
He's got has got a roof repair or any type of home scenario, and he's got your app on his phone.
Correct.
And so the homeowner goes, I can't write you a $20,000 check. So he says, okay, so what did he actually fills out on his phone, the basic information from the homeowner?
Yeah.
So the homeowner is not even going through an application process. They're getting
Well, there is an application process. He'll fill it out for them. And then, either they'll sign digital or, some guys like the paper, right?
Right.
We accommodate both. They'll send it in, either snap a picture of it or just submit it in through the portal. And then they obviously have their own portal and their own platform. And then it goes into their own database and they get notified right away and they can track all their sales and everything else.
Beautiful. Yeah. So it's and there's a lot of this going on in the finance world. Like there's today, as a matter of fact, my son, who's in his late 20s, he doesn't seem to ever walk into the bank. Like he's doing everything off his phone.
Yes.
So it totally makes sense to me that this is where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, the banks are great. They've been around forever. They have tons and tons of money. Their ability to raise capital is incredibly easy. So they have
this huge advantage with the way the banking system is set up.
And their cost of capital, exactly, the way they're structured. we beat them in different ways. So we're more convenient, we're quicker, we're easier to work with. We have our own reward programs now too. We just did a program we just signed with Air Miles. So now the new customers coming on, they'll get a welcome, a splash of Air Miles, and then every month for on-time billing, they'll get Air Miles from us.
I get
So we
Air
do lots of
Miles
cool
just for
things.
paying on time.
Just for paying on time.
That is the coolest thing. So where do you get your money?
Private sources.
So you're
So
not.
we'll raise through different.
But are
things.
you
So we all-
are you using bank financing yourself to
Yeah, so
finance
we'll
that?
just closed in Q4. We closed on a new senior credit facility with a Schedule I financial institution.
So where's the business going to go? Where is it headed? How are you going to pay for all those children and grandchildren?
Good question. There's lots of market to be tackled. Again, there's only a handful of us that play in the space, and because of our policies and procedures and the way we approach business and the way we handle our customers and in turn their customers, we do have a bit of an advantage. So there's room for us to gain market share from the other competitors, but also even the industry as a whole. More and more people are needing access to capital for a variety of reasons. But yeah, and as expenses go up and incomes aren't staying on par with that, there's going to be a greater demand. So we see an opportunity. We're going to continue on.
So you're in Canada right now.
Correct.
Any chance of going into other countries?
It comes up all
U.S.
the
for
time.
example.
It comes up. Yeah, we're a very small market in Canada. We'll see. No immediate plans, but it's never completely off the table.
And there's companies doing this, I take it, already in the U.S.
There's a handful. There's I think one or two doing it well.
EAMONN GLAVEY, just to get it straight, the name of the company and your what you call it.
Okay, we go by CHICC.
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 I see.
Acronym for Canadian Home Improvement Credit Corporation.
So if someone is so you want to get connected with the contractor. So if someone's a contractor watching this, they just go to your website, or?
Yeah, they could go to the website, apply, or reach out. We would get in contact with them. We would vet them, check the reviews, any bad press, all that kind of stuff, right? Make sure they're credit worthy too. They run a good operation. We're really selective with who we take on board. Not all contractors are built equally.
Yes.
There's always a few bad apples. So we do our best to steer clear of anybody like that.
Cool. Well, you're helping homeowners right across the country get their roofs fixed and
And then
whatever
some.
else.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, EAMONN, for joining us on Biz 101. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thanks, Randy.